This community program would not be possible without the financial support of our corporate sponsors and community members. Tri-Cities Community Television would like to especially thank the cities of Port Moody, Coquitlam, and Port Coquitlam for their belief and support of community television.
And then I guess we're at center tap. So I'm gonna say right in line, and then quick, march, and then we march on. Okay?
Hurry! Hurry! By the race! Quick! March! Band and color party standing fast. Parade will advance. Left turn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Faye Johnson, and I'm proudly the president of the Port Moody Legion, and I would like to welcome you all on this somber yet also important day to pay our respects to those who fought and who are still fighting for our country. This year marks the 86th anniversary of the charter of the forming of the Port Moody Legion Branch 119. We have the proud distinction of being the only Legion in Canada to present a 21-gun cannon salute by the Seymour Artillery Company. The cannons are very loud and will commence precisely at 11 o'clock. Dogs will bark, babies will cry, car alarms will go off. Please be ready for this. This year, we at the Port Moody Legion dedicate our 2017 Act of Remembrance to the 100th anniversary of the victories of the battles of Vimy Ridge, Hill 70, and Passchendaele. We remember and honor the lives lost at these battles and thank all who fell so we could freely stand. By the end of the First World War, Canada, a country of less than 8 million people, would see more than 650,000 men and women serve in uniform. The conflict took a huge toll, and more than 66,000 Canadians lost their lives, and over 170,000 were wounded. 100 years later, Canada remembers the courage and sacrifice of those who fought in the cause of peace and freedom, lest we forget. Freedom Road. They should never be forgotten ones, the brave young daughters and young sons who gave their lives so long ago while fighting those who were our foe. The world has changed, the time has passed, and to some the years have gone too fast to totally erase the pain they found when comrades fell on foreign ground. Now those of us who they died for must continue to stand and keep the door open to honor and to show respect, not allowing ourselves to ever forget. It was Freedom Road they did pave, so proclaim your thanks to those who gave. As our anthem plays, sing loud and clear, and on Remembrance Day, stand tall and proud. We honor all those who served this land. Wearing poppies, we salute and stand. Grateful to those who went before to open wide our freedom door.
Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Band, our national anthem. Bugler, sound last post.
will now read the departed 2017 comrades since we last gathered together. Jamie Zanetti, Gordon Robert Henry Palliser, Earl Porter, life member, Constable John Davidson, Abbotsford City Police. We will now observe the 2 minutes of silence.
Viper, sounds a lament. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor their years condemn. They're going down in the sun, and in the morning we will remember them. Bugler, sound reveille. Color party, order, color. Parade! Parade, stand at east. Stand easy. Anybody on parade laying a wreath, please fall out.
Despite our prayers and pleas for peace, loud gunfire never seems to cease on this planet we call Earth. So many wars sparked by greed, lives destroyed without the need to understand that all bleed red. Tombstone numbers don't end but grow, of soldiers now and long ago, fighting to protect their own. A poppy worn to honor all soldiers who heard and heeded the call to defend our land. We gather on Remembrance Day to place a wreath as soldiers lay in graveyards worldwide. Thank veterans, then proudly stand upon our soil, our tranquil land, blessed to be Canadians, lest we forget. We'll now commence with the laying of the wreaths. In memory of our Silver Cross, Mother Lily Pinchot, Comrade Sheila Douglas, World War II veteran and 59-year member of the Royal Canadian Legion. In honor of John Chipman Chip Kerr, Victoria Cross recipient in the year 1916, being laid by his grandson Ian Kerr. On behalf of the federal government, Department of Veteran Affairs, being laid by Comrade Scott Mayer. Honoring all Canadian veterans on behalf of the Parliament of Canada, Representative MP Finn Donnelly, representing Finn Donnelly, Comrade Chris Knight. In memory of those who gave all those who are serving, and all those who continue to serve, Rick Glumac, MLA, Port Moody, Coquitlam. On behalf of the City of Port Moody, Mayor Mike Clay. On behalf of the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 119, Port Moody, Comrade Loretta Rodriguez. Representing School District 43, Trustees Lisa Park and Keith Watkins. In honor of the 100th anniversary of the Canadian victories at the battles at Vimy Ridge, Hill 70, and Passchendaele, 1917 World War I, representing the Port Moody Museum Trench Squad, Alan Broderick. Honoring the 88 enlisted from Port Moody who served in the Great War, and notably the 10 who paid the ultimate sacrifice for their country, to be read out representing the Port Moody Heritage Society Executive Director Jim Miller.
Private Willoughby Abbott Dunn, Lieutenant Augustus Wilberforce McKnight, Lance Sergeant Lennox Fraser Robertson, Sergeant Major William Toll Taylor, Private Arthur Ernest Martin, Private Arthur Francis Brunette, Private Alton Spalding Grass, Private Sylvester Miletus Lewis, Lieutenant Colonel William Mahone Davis, Private Joseph Adelard Trepanier.
On behalf of the War Amps Operation Legacy, Amy Brennan. Representing the Port Moody Police Department, Chief Constable David Fritz, Constable Ricardo Coopers. In memory of all veterans past and present, representing the Port Moody Fire and Rescue Department, Deputy Fire Chief Gord Parker. In memory of all veterans past and present, representing the Port Moody Firefighters IAFF Local 2399, Dave Pfeiffer, President. Representing St. John's Ambulance Division 54, Superintendent Kevin Hazelwood. Honoring the Hong Kong War Vets, Comrade Walter Skorchak, First Vice President, Port Moody Legion. Honoring the Korean War Vets, Comrade James Schellenberg, Retired Captain, Sea and Rescue, Canadian Coast Guard. Representing the 227 RCACC Army Cadets, Captain Robert Rothwell, Deputy Commanding Officer. Representing the Pocomo Navy League of Canada 201 Grills, Lieutenant Commander Sean Tossrod and Chief Petty Officer First Class Alex Wang. Representing the 754 Phoenix Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron, Major David Timms and Warrant Officer First Class Michelle Coe. In memory and gratitude to the chaplains, priests, ministers, pastors, rabbis, and religious leaders who serve the spiritual needs of veterans, their families, and their friends, retired Reverend and Dr. David Spence, on behalf of the Royal Commonwealth Society. In memory of all animals who served and died alongside troops in times of war, Emma Gressinger and her grandfather, Robin Webb. Representing Coquitlam Teachers Association, Christine Wong. Representing the Tri-City Chamber of Commerce, Mary Valani, member of the Board of Directors. Representing Crossroads Hospice Society, Roland Mitchell. We honor those who have given their lives serving Canadians and helping people of other nations. Representing the Port Moody Foundation, Robert Simons and Heidi Madrell. Representing the Port Moody Senior Friendship Society, Terry Hughes. Honoring all past and present serving members of the Canadian Forces, DeWolf, Masonic Lodge 78, Robert Irving, and Brian Barr. Representing the Coquitlam Funeral Home Limited, Mark Albert. All our fallen brothers, 4th degree Joe Johnson, Knights of Columbus Council 9846, St. Joseph Church, Port Moody. All fallen comrades of war, Michael Kim, Knights of Columbus Council 16756, St. Angus Kim. Representing the Girl Guides of Canada, Eagle Mountain District, Kathy Daly, District Commissioner, Navi Lakovic, 6th Spark, Sophie Anderson, 5th Brownies, Maya McDonald, 2nd Guides, Caitlin Atkins, 9th Pathfinders, and Juliana Parmar, 10th Ranger. Representing Como Lake Girl Guides of Canada, Neha Chatri, District Commissioner. Representing 10th Coquitlam Scouts, Brianna Aberton, May and Daniel Yu, Terrence Park, and Joy Huang. In honor of all veterans past and present, representing Pacific Coast Terminals, Jennifer McKinnon, Assistant Manager, Operations. Honoring all veterans, Rotary Club of Port Moody, Ian McPhail, President-elect. Remembering those who lost their lives fighting for Canada, Barnett Lions Club, Paul Hand, President. Honoring all veterans and serving military, Laval Sawmill, Patty Sahota, Vice President of Community Engagement. On behalf of Andrew Peller Limited, Virginia Bird. Honoring females in the armed forces, Socratomist International of the Tri-Cities, Penny Bickerton and Joanne Morton. In honor of all fallen soldiers, Kyle Center Fencing Club, Betty Liang and Victor C. In memory of the fallen who served in the 2nd Tactical Air Force Mobile Unit 55062 in World War II, Nothing Dragon, Seniors Dragon Boat, Elizabeth and Mike Scales. In memory of Private Thomas Wooten and the 515 Canadian soldiers who perished in the Korean War, Dr. Bong Kwong Kim, Vice President, Korean Senior Society of Vancouver. In loving memory of Doug Quigley, Flight Engineer, World War II, Steve Quigley, Port Moody Shoe Renew. In loving memory of Alvin Al Sholand, laying the wreath, his daughter Christine Sillers. In loving memory of Don Hill, his grandson Travis Lopton and daughter Brenda Markland. In loving memory of Gordon Robert Henry Palliser, his son Neil Palliser. In loving memory of Joseph Mulvihill, his grandchildren. Great-grandchildren. In loving memory of William Billy Smith, his son and daughter Gary Smith and Leslie Nunez. And grandchildren. Representing the Port Moody Senior Housing Society, Comrade Karen Van Gelder. I would now like to ask our Reverend Julie Lebrun to do the benediction.
When you leave today, when you walk from here, walk with justice, walk with mercy, walk with God's humble care. May it be so. Amen.
We would like to thank the following: to the City of Port Moody and the Port Moody Arts Centre for allowing this act of remembrance to take place, to George Wright and Pacific Coast Terminals for donating and organizing the wonderful PA system today, and special thanks to Aardvark Graphic Design for the temporary monument plaque depicting our respect for the fallen. And of course to all of you present today who came to show respect to those who have given and continue to give so much for our freedom. Each Remembrance Day is a time that Canadians stop and remember the brave men and women who have risked their lives for our country. It is well for us to pause to acknowledge our debt to those who paid so large a share of freedom's price. We owe a debt of gratitude that we can never pay, and this country will always remember them on each Remembrance Day. We ask you to join us at Cal Center after the ceremonies at 19 and plus, please. And again, we thank you all for sharing this wonderful day with us.
Hooray! Attend! Cut! Color party! Carry! Coach! Canadian flag standing fast. Tail! Coach! Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Band, the Royal Anthem. party. Let's fly. Push.
Sergeant Arms, dismiss the parade.
Color party. 2 paces forward. Quick. March.